Good day, everyone. Hope you all had a thrilling Thursday. My Thursday was pretty good. So I worked at the library again the following morning, right after I had worked the evening. Did the one thing that I told I should do every time I come in until I get really good at it, which shouldn't take much longer. I'll do another time or two, and I'll consider myself ready to do that. So no big deal. All in all, it went pretty well. Day kind of dragged a little bit. It was a little less busy, I think. An interesting thing happened. On Wednesday when I came in the late morning, there was a bunch of books kind of out of place on the carts. Needed to get ordered and put everything away, and they were still working on the book drop, or the books that came from the other branches and things like that. Did my best to get through it, get everything caught up with them. The next day when I came in, on Thursday, it was me in the morning, and I wanted to make sure that whoever came in at around 11, 11:30, 12, 12:30, whenever someone came in next, that they didn't walk into a mess that I walked into the previous day. And so I did my best, plowed through everything. We did a holds list. We did everything put away. Just keep up with everything. I got the movies caught up, which hadn't been done the whole time I've been there. And yeah, so like I said, just did my best getting through that. And got a second holds list done by one of the volunteers. I did a third holds list, which took no time at all because I'd kept up with the other holds lists and taken off redundant books that stay on there because we don't collect them. They stay on the list, but we know they're not. But if we know they're not on the shelves, we can take it off the list and make it so you don't look for it a second time, basically, which was happening with quite a few books. So I just compared the previous list, took everything off that was on that list, because the list was completed. They checked for everything. So that's always a good thing. If you can do a list and check off everything, either as there or as not there, but you make sure you go through the entire list, then you know you can go through that list again. If you see that same book on the next list, you don't need to go look for it a second time, because if it comes in, we'll check it in and be told it's a hold, and it won't ever make it on the shelves anyways. So there's no point. So if you see a lot of repeats, I know to take them out. So I put together this one page with all that was left, and I went out and did it in like 20 minutes. And so we got that holds list done also. So basically, all the holds lists were done. Everything else was in place. And when the person came in at the 12:30, they were just like blown away that everything was done. Like, everything's done? This is weird. And the next thing they had to say was compliment the wild card, the new person in the scenario that makes it so things are different than they were, and that would be me. So I'm glad that I'm settling so well to the point where I'm impressing them so much so quickly. I just have to keep working hard and not get frustrated by little things that I have to get used to, basically. But all in all, it was a good day. And then there was a special thing happening at Northland Church, a young adult gathering that a friend from the drive definitely wanted to go to, and asked some of us if we wanted to. And so we wound up being a group of 6. There were 6 of us that showed up, that knew each other previously from the drive. Actually 7, but the 7th was unrelated to us. We knew him from the drive, but he actually knew someone else and was invited through that means instead. So there were 7 people from the drive that were there. One of them didn't sit with us. The rest of us sat together. And then 2 of them went home. 4 of us went out afterwards. It was a good service. I like the music style. It's a little bit better. It's not quite as loud or as dark. They kept the lights up. They let the music lower. The drive has been turning the lights all the way down, so it's just dark and playing the music too loud, basically. And more people have been like hanging out in the foyer area during the worship because it's just too loud. Whereas this was nice. It was a nice level of volume kept the lights on so you could look around and see other people, not stumble through the dark. And they just had couches spread out in rows instead of having tables set up like we do. It was nice. We were like, ooh, and then so what happened was 4 of us sat on this couch and chair right next to the couch. One of us sat in the next row up in a chair. He sat down and found out the chair rotates. So he swiveled around and faced us, and we talked until it started, basically. It's a lot of fun. Met a few new people, but the overall consensus was this group is on the younger side. And so of the 6 of us that went, I think 4, maybe 5 of us were in our 30s at least. So it just felt like everyone was just a lot younger. Although someone there said that they recognized me from the drive. They'd visited the drive about a year earlier and recognized me from that, but I didn't recognize her, so that was interesting. And then afterwards, like I was about to say, 4 of us went over to Steak and Shake in Castleberry to just hang out and talk for a while. And so that was good times too, basically. When I came home, not much else to add. I plowed through. I hadn't watched any TV. I fell way behind on my shows and my vlogs, both. I guess just because of this work, getting used to this work thing is just throwing me off a little bit. So I plowed through both Monday Night Raw and Thursday Night SmackDown for wrestling-related things. And that's about it. So I'm going to go ahead and close out the vlog here and say goodnight, everyone, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.